In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with your midterm assignment. So first, let's go to the directory where we're doing all our work. If you remember, we had created a directory called Internet under the C drive. Okay, so yeah, there it is. Let's double click and let's go in there. We already have a couple of directories in there. Let's create a directory called Midterm where we're going to do all our work for the midterm. Let's double click on that and let's create a file in here called midterm.html. Now this document lives only on our local file system, so it won't be available for anybody to look at the internet until we upload it. So let's edit this with our favorite text editor. I like to use Scintilla because it allows me to increase the font really big for you to follow along. Let's expand this window and let's zoom in so you can see what I'm typing. First, let's create a heading type 1 to identify this as the midterm. I'm going to use several shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts to save and copy. I use Control S to save, and then I'm going to double click on the document to open it up with the default browser. And there it is, midterm. That's exactly what we typed in the HTML document. Let me zoom in so you can see what I am working on. Let's go back to the document and let's start off with what our table might be for the midterm. So here I'm creating 4 columns. These are the headings of the columns: question, answer, content, and reference. And I'm going to add the tags declaring that this is a table and that this is a row with the opening table tag and the closing table tag. Remember to always close your tags. If not, you're going to have some funny formatting. So I am splitting these headings to be in separate lines because it makes it easier to work them separately. So I'm copying and pasting the formatting, declaring these to be the columns, TD and closing TD. We're going to save that and refresh or F5, and this starts to look like a table. I'm going to add the border attribute, saying that it's a border of size 1. I'm going to save again, or Control S, and I'm going to change with Alt Tab and refresh with F5 and see that this starts looking like the headings of the table. Let's change this from TD to TH, declaring these to be headings, not just regular table rows. So real quick, I'm copying, pasting, and save and switching, refresh. Okay, there they are. They're table headings. Notice that I'm using Alt Tab to switch real quick between my editor and my browser. I'm also copying the first row to create a brand new row underneath so that I get already all the formatting. I'm putting here a demo question that we're going to use to look up and search in the internet for the answer. I'm asking here who was the liberator of Latin America. That is also sometimes referred to as the George Washington of Latin America. And the question also asks you to provide a link of where you find the information and also a picture. So we're going to embed a picture from the web onto this table. So let's save that. Let's switch real quick. Oops, we see that we made a mistake. We left these THs where they should be really just regular rows. So I'm going to really quickly copy paste to fix the formatting of the very first row of this table. All the other ones were not really rows, they were headings. So let's save that. Let's refresh. There we go. Okay, so let's look up the answer. We're going to copy some of the clues here from the question. Let's copy, let's see, the George Washington of Latin America. So let's copy that and let's head over to Google and let's type in that terminology to see what we get. We see that we have a wiki answer. Somebody had already asked this. And we see that there's a clue here, Simon Bolivar. Let's copy that. Let's head over maybe to Wikipedia that seems to know everything. So let's type in Simon Bolivar. This is sometimes a very good place to at least start with a search and learn a little bit about the topic that we're searching for. Let's see. Yeah, well, I happen to know that Simon Bolivar is indeed the one who's referred to as the George Washington of Latin America. Let's paste that in the question column, in the answer column, sorry, and Let's in the last column we're going to type in a link of where we found this. It's a column of reference. Let's copy the URL. Let's head over here and paste it here. Now we have created a link to our reference. Where is it that we found this information? Let's save that and refresh our midterm. There it is. Under the reference column, we see that we have a link to where we found the information. Now, for the picture, we had left just a placeholder of where we were going to get the picture. So let's get back to the Wikipedia. We know we had a picture there. If we right-click on the image, we can ask the browser for the property and ask it, where did you get this image? Where did you download it from? And so let's see, there it is, properties. And if we click on properties, a new window comes up and tells me that this is the full address of the document, of that image document. So we can select all so that we get the entire URL of the document. Notice that it finishes with JPEG, telling us that this is indeed an image document. I copied it. I can go back now to my midterm, and instead of picture, we can add the image tag here, the img tag, saying that the source is equal to, and then we can paste the URL that we just copied from. Don't forget to close the image tag. Let's save that, and let's head over to our midterm document and refresh, see what it looks like. There it is. There's the image. It's a little too big, so let's format the image so that it's not bigger, than a particular heading, height or width. Let's say that we want this that the maximum height to be 100 pixels high. So let's save, Control S and Alt Tab. Let's refresh with F5. There it is. Now the image is at most 100 pixels high. So we were pretty much done. Let's see. Oh, we see that this is centered, and that we would want all these rows to be centered at the top, to be aligned vertically via line. We want it to be aligned to the top instead of the center. The default is center, but it looks much better if it's they're vertically aligned to the top. So let's copy and paste this attribute for all our columns. Let's save. Let's head back and refresh, F5, and there it is. It's now all nicely aligned, vertically aligned to the top. Very good.